I was muted. Dang it, that was a whole waste of time. Welcome. Welcome to the streams. We are live and late. We are late because Mac OS decided it needed to update, but you know, hey. Late is better than never. Right? I'd rather be late than not online. Okay. Hey. It's gonna take a quick second Whole point of today is to be learning Rust. Am I wrong? Like the whole point of streaming is to learn Rust. Not for everybody, but for me, for today, for what I want to do. We gotta learn some Rust. Learn the Rust. Why is Rust even? Why is Rust something I want to learn? Question. That's the truth. Why? Why do we even want to learn it? Somebody thinks it's worthwhile. Somebody wrote it. Thought it would be more important than the other language. What's the other language that people do? C? C++? People do that, right? Do people even program in anything that's not a fake language, like Node.js? That's the question. I feel like everybody is like using TypeScript now, or React, or Node, and nobody's doing programming languages that I like, which are pretty much only Go. Right? I don't do anything that's not Go at this point in my life. Learn. This is the last one. Last post. Okay. Last post. Last post. Last post. We don't need it to be the mobile website. Last post, I promise. Okay. We're good. Let's go see if we can find where we left off yesterday. Because we all know we were doing stuff yesterday, and we had a blast. Not getting very far. Programming and guessing game, that's where we were. Code, Rust week. It'll probably end up being Rust month because we can't do anything quickly. This is going to take 12,000 years. I turned my head way too much. I need this to be like right in front of my face. Inside the full range of motion. Right? Something like that. Just need a new mic. That's what I need. I need a new mic. You guys want to see the mic that I want? I promised myself I'd get it as soon as we hit all of the subscribers. All of the subscribers. We have to get like 5 subscribers and I'll get my new mic. You want to see it? The only reason I want this mic as opposed to another mic is because it lights up. I only care about the light up. I don't care about performance. I don't care about like quality or anything. I only want this mic because it has LEDs. Literally the only reason I want it. Isn't that pathetic? It's like so high maintenance. It's a little bit ridiculous how high maintenance that is. It's Discord certified. I mean, anyway. But yeah, it's great. Can I also say, see, it's a great mic. That's the mic I want, and I will buy it for myself. I will buy myself that mic as soon as I have 5 subscribers. That's my goal. 5 subscribers, and 5 subscribers means I get the rainbow mic as opposed to just a black mic. Because it would just be awesome, and then I could program the mic to be different colors. Anyway, and it could light up, and I could then program it to coordinate it with the light up LED lights. Well, it's syncable. Just like the SteelSeries, all the SteelSeries equipment is syncable, so you can get it to all. They provide the software that gets you to coordinate the colors. HyperX has a software that lets you coordinate colors. Corsair has software that lets you coordinate the colors. So basically, yeah, you can get them to all be the same colors at the same time, so, which is programmable. Yes, it would be cool if they had open APIs for them. I haven't looked. To see if there's any open APIs. What's with the freezing? Is that just my camera being dumb? Probably. Anyway, yeah. So, I don't know. If that is, what I mean by programmable in that sense, but, guessing game example. But yeah, it would, I mean, everything should have an API, am I right? Man, I don't like the fact that my camera froze. But hey, what can I say? If it's just the camera, we can work with it. Right? We'll just do a quick reset on the camera. And it's still frozen. Turn the camera off. Turn it on. Oh well. We'll just give it a minute. Give it a minute. Maybe it'll come back. If not, we're still going to be doing some Rust today. So where we left off, I had just going through the dependency stuff because I was really confused on how dependencies work. And now we're into actually doing the function for the rest of the guessing game. So we were on secret numbers. We got through that. This is literally where we left off yesterday. And that should be super great. So my plan for today and for tomorrow is to finish the guessing game and then not continue anymore with this book because it was a little bit crazy. But I discovered from a local meetups Discord, actually, this I found out on my meetup Slack. So, Forge Utah, we run meetups, we have a Slack, and one of the users in our Rust channel said that they did these exercises on Rustlings to use Rust, and I was like, what? You have exercises? That's like the best. So my plan, after doing the first 3 chapters of this book, my goodness. Yeah! Hey, patatas! How are you doing? I did see Tour of Rust. I thought Tour of Rust was cool. So I was planning on doing Rust, using Rust by example as a reference. Using Rust by example as the reference because I really liked the way it was set up and working through these exercises. That was my plan as soon as I finish chapter 2 of the book. Should I go through chapter 3? Probably. But reading is boring, and reading is extra boring on a stream. And I'm gonna get really sad right now. Let's switch cameras. Yes, we can add a camera right here. Add. We want to add a video capture device. You know we're gonna add a video capture device because we're really struggling. Look at how big that is. I don't want it that big. And we also don't want it to be frozen. We want it to be not frozen. And we want it to be beautiful. And we want it to be my backup camera. Because I have one. I am very proud of myself for having a backup camera. The lighting's not great and it's not as pretty, but it exists. And it allows me to at least show up in my streams, right? Which is what we want. So webcam, here we go. And then we'll hide you, because you're not working. Okay, see, isn't that just like almost decent quality? Let's turn this brightness down. And, okay. Let's go finish. We'll go finish our program. So this will be, no, we're not comparing yet. We're generating a random number. So this will be fun. Yeah, I have many angles, bad. I have 3 cameras. I have the camera that I use for work, the camera that I use for streams that's filming, the camera for my phone that connects over Wi-Fi, the camera from clamshell mode. I have all of the cameras. That way I could do multiple cameras at once. Okay, but you know, this camera is not as high quality or as pretty as my real camera, but the real camera froze, and so if it's just going to be frozen, we're just going to say, hey, we don't need you. Okay, generating a random number. Now that you've added a rand crate to your cargo toml, which we did yesterday, let's start using rand. The next step is to update source/main.rs to show as shown in the following listing. Okay, well, we need to import rand. We'll do this. Use rand ring RNG. Oh, and it needs 2 colons because 2 colons mean something in Rust. I don't quite know what 2 colon means, as opposed to like where they stole that from or what the proper term is, but I like it. I like the 2 colons. 2 colons at night. Zocker Frund. Oh, that book takes me back. Hi, welcome. Our module path separators, that's what that means? Okay, thanks. That's good. Now I import random and range. Method question mark? Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess the namespace aspect of it makes sense. Like, it's denoting it. I still don't quite know how to term it in the terms of crates. I'm looking at the wrong camera because I'm so used to looking at that camera when I stream. I'm still not. Oh my gosh. I don't like how it reformats my comments. Namespacing makes a whole lot of sense, especially because you use namespaces in the Kubernetes a lot. So we're gonna guess a number, and then we're going to create our random number. So we'll define it, and this secret. I know that it's not mutable because there's no mut in there. Random thread, thread. So random is the crate that we're importing. Thread range is the method. We're not using the capital RNG thing, but this must be internal to that in some way, so I guess that makes sense. I feel like this is one of those things that the more I use it, the more I will have like a need to get into the source code and it'll make sense. Like sometimes I think things just make sense the more you use them. Yeah, modules, crates, type. Yeah, it's an okay. You can access things with a double colon. That makes sense. It's not a reference because I learned what a reference was yesterday, but it kind of points back to a predefined something or another. A path to something in the module, basically a namespace. As I understand it in C++, would call it a namespace. Yeah, I've never done C++, so that makes sense. But yeah, I keep thinking of these things as paths. I think the path terminology makes a whole lot of sense to me as well, right? So that's good. So we're guessing a number. We create a number. The secret number is... Why are we telling them what the secret number is before? Why are they doing that? That seems dumb. When are you gonna see Big Brother? My big brother? The big brother? Or like my older brother? Or like the general big brother that watches over us and knows what we're doing? Because Google definitely knows what I'm doing right now. 100% I believe Google is Big Brother and Facebook is the crazy peeper cousin. And I'm okay with that. Why does this say to do... This does not make a whole lot of sense. The reason to say the secret number is... It's like... What's that word? The old game show from the 60s called Secret Word, or like where they had the two panelists and one was a celebrity and they had to guess what the word was, and then Kristen Wiig spoofs it on SNL all the time, and they just have the person that says the secret word is, and that's how they like roll. Okay, or is Big Brother an actual crate? Because if Big Brother's an actual crate I can import, I'll do that right now. I'll say screw it. Screw it, I'll do it right now. Let mute guess equals string. We have that. C++ uses a double colon token for accessing methods in Enum symbol class, yes. Rust is actually more regular here since C++ only recently got an actual module system. I'm sorry, Eric Don Goobler, that you keep up with C++. Somebody's got to, right? But like, I have not used C++ since college, and it was one class, and it was after that I literally only programmed in Mathematica, because that's what physicists do. Is a syntax for something called turbofish. Some people hate it, others love it. Turbofish. Can I Google that? I feel like... No, that's not what I want. I feel like that would be really beneficial right now. Syntax turbofish. Turbo Pascal? No, that's definitely fish. Well, No, I don't want... Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I know what I'm doing. Turbofish? Turbofish... What is Rust Turbofish? Oh look, it's in the book! If it's in the book, then it's real. Oh, look, it's generics. Oh gosh, that means it's a real thing. Oh, you know, you want to know something? Turbo fish. Oh, this is. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh my gosh. Okay. Generics is the one thing I cannot say Go is better at than Rust. Like, even facetiously. Because, hey Bobby! I can't say it facetiously because Go doesn't have generics. So, dang it. I'm speaking at a panel next week, and, like, it would be really fun to just, like, bang on Rust. I'll be a good citizen, and I'll say Rust is awesome for all the things Rust is awesome at. But, like, I can't even joke about it because Go will never have generics. Oh, I'm not worried about Rust generics. I've actually heard really, really, really good things about Rust generics, and you can't pay me to write C++. Like, if there was a job description that said you have to do C++, I would quit. Just like if I had to do Node in my job. The Node thing's just petty. The C++ is just hard. Okay, so now... They have templating in C++? Okay, I only took one C++ class in college, and that's like the intro to programming class, so we barely even got to inheritance. Like, that was literally the last class, and not on the final. That's what inheritance was in C++. So we're like, yeah, ridiculous. Okay. We added a use line for the used and RNG. The RNG trait defines methods and random number generator implemented. This trait must be in scope for us to use these methods. Chapter end will discover traits in detail. See, there's all these things. Like, 19 talks about macros, which I was like, why the heck do we have macros and not functions? 10 talks about traits. Like, you do have to read the whole book, or read about you have to do a lot of reading to understand all of the aspects of Rust. It doesn't necessarily have to be from this resource, but it's just like crazy to me how much information there is. I'm impressed that they put it in a book. We're adding 2 lines in the middle. The rand thread RNG function gives us a particular random number generator. We're going to use one that is local to a current thread of execution and seeding the operating system. This must be the one that seeds. And then this tells them the range. Well, that's nice that it auto-seeds for you. Because every time I use a random number in Go, I pretty much always seed off of the seconds, the Unix time, just to get seconds, right? Because it's always going to be unique. Because time's always moving forward. I'm glad I don't have to care about that. That's nice. The genRange method takes a range expression as an argument and generates a random number in the range. A kind of range expression we're using here takes the form start ... end. Yeah, well, it's inclusive lower bound. Yeah. Alternatively, we could pass the range, which is equivalent. So does this mean... Oh, I see. So we're saying from 1 to 101, which means we're not including 101. We're only including the numbers 1 through 100. That makes sense. Wait. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Is that saying 1 is included? Because in my head, this is saying take numbers 2 through 101 if 101 is not included. Why would you include the first number and not include the second number? Right, because it's saying you need the equal sign to include it. Okay, whatever. No, you don't just know which trait to use and which method to call from a crate. Instructions for using the crate are in the crate's documentation. Another neat feature of Cargo is that it has the run cargo doc open command. That's nice. Docs are really helpful. The lower bound is always inclusive? Interesting. Nice. I guess that's very intuitive to always have the lower bound being inclusive. But not normal. I feel like I don't see that very much. It's like for a loop with I equals 0 greater than 100. Yeah, 0 is included and 101 is not. Yes, in that syntax that would be the case. I guess in mathematics though, like if I were to, I feel like I'm used to seeing this, right? If you're going to go 1, you would go from 0 to 101, and this would say from 1 to 100, right? And then if I wanted to, or I could say, and that would be equal to 1 to 100, right? Like, this is the syntax that I expect, and that's just from my mathematical programming, right? Just like from using Mathematica and MATLAB. Like, the curly braces, square braces is the syntax that I expect. When you relate it to the for loop, though, the syntax of a for loop, that, I guess, yeah, now I see it. But that's not how my brain works. My brain has been trained to be a physicist, not to think in terms of computers. Let's try cargo run. Even though, why on earth would it say to print it out before? Probably just to prove that we're obviously not building a finished product. We're just running code at this point. Cargo run. Let's make sure it compiles. Building. 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 Oh, please input a number. 12. I guess 12, even though 57 was the right answer. Yay, let's add the logic to compare. What was this crab's name? I learned he had a name yesterday, and then I forgot, and I really wanted to share it today in my stand-up, but I had forgotten what the crab's name was. Anybody off the top of their head know what the crab... Ferris? Thank you, Zocker. Zocker. Okay, if I was just gonna read your name, your handle straight across, I would say Zockerfrunde 03, but I know that's definitely not it, but that's really how I feel like it should be. Ferris. Thank you, Ferris. You know, the gopher is anonymous. Gopher's anonymous. And that's, yeah. Ferris. Good to know. Ferris is a fun name for a crab. Cool. So we can go back into our fun stuff. And now we are going to X that. And we're going to say get random number from 1 to 100 form. From 1 to... So where do I get a plushy Ferris? That's my next question. Where do I get a plushy Ferris? I feel like my motivation to continue programming in Rust is 100% dependent on a stuffed crab standing next to my collection of stuffed gophers. Zocker is correct. Frunda is butchered. Well, yeah, of course it is. Just, yeah, I was literally just gonna call you Zocker. And I know I butchered it, but it was fun. My nephew's trying to give me hand signals. Probs Twitter. Oh, yeah, I could definitely put on Twitter that I want a plushy Ferris for Twitch. You know, I put on Twitter that I was going to be doing Nats stuff on Twitch, and they sent me a whole ton of crap. Like stickers and shirts. Jake, you want to come say hi to the stream? Jake, you're going to go play Xbox? Oh, so you're going to go lay down and be sick? Do you need medicine? Do you need something, Jake? Okay, my nephew's having a sick day. If you want to wish him well, feel free to do so in the chat, I'm sure.
Maybe I shouldn't have 4 bags of chicken.
He just said maybe he should not eat 4 bags of potato chips and then go to sleep. Which I agree. Maybe eat a vegetable every once in a while and you'll feel better. So match must be a keyword for something. Guesses are variable. Oh, and CMP must be compare. That makes sense. Okay. So I guess dot compare. I'm gonna. Why do I want stupid English? You know, there's a lot of languages that don't have vowels that this would not be a problem for. VIM, you're making it very hard for stuff to be readable. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, thanks, Bobby. Thanks for wishing him well. He'll get fine. He'll be fine. He's a 19 and resilient. And refer to the secret number. So I mean, he'll be fine. His parents just came into town though, so they probably expect him to see his face. Yes, and he should definitely eat more vegetables and drink something that's not Pepsi. But hey, when you're a kid, you don't care about what you eat. Ordering less than... Yeah, I knew. Okay, I'm gonna type this, and then I'm gonna add... I could have just copied and pasted, and I probably should have, but I'm gonna type it anyway. Just to... And then I'm gonna add the comments to explain what I think is happening here. The comments are 100%. A keyword match keyword is a pattern matching, sort of like a switch case statement, but with the extra power of looking into a structure of a variable. Yeah, that's kind of what I. Thank you for that. 100%. That's a very great explanation. Like, I was kind of seeing it as a keyword, like, to some kind of a method, right? Like, that has an actor that would act on it. Thank you. Okay, I am gonna also, mess up your name, but I would say Pine al Servo if I was saying it, like, super American. Too small. Thank you for your input, your explanation. That makes a whole lot of sense. Oh my goodness! This is why we don't type in front of people, because it's really hard. Oh my goodness! Zocker, you followed? Thank you, Zocker, for the follow. That boosts my stats so much. That's not even facetious. I love it when I get follows. Makes me feel loved. Ordering equal. Now we're using a macro for the println because there's not a function. I found that out when the compiler failed. I'm sure there's a reason for this in all of the memory magics that are... What? There's an alias for meetups that doesn't exist? Well, if you type exclamation point meetups, you will see the meetups that I'm running. I'll need to go fix that on Nightbot. I was just messing around with Nightbot today, and I have no idea what it will do. Why didn't it format? If it didn't oh, look at that. That's why. needed the commas because you have to do things. I feel like I'm missing a semicolon. I shouldn't be though, right? Because we have the curly braces, which means I don't need the semicolon in this case. Okay. Let's add my comments. Match is a keyword that lets us act on the variable question mark that is provided as an argument. I'm sure that's wrong, but I'm also sure there is 100% available some kind of chapter on this, and I'll read about it in a minute. Ordering less. Ordering has to do with compare, but I'm sure ordering has something... Ordering must be like a standard library thing, or a library thing. Well, yes, so ordering is probably a library, and we're just checking the less, greater, or equal from that ordering, which that makes sense. I'm just gonna say ordering lib question mark, because that will help me, and I'm sure I'll answer that question in the future. Yes, so that way we can check every... And also, I don't think I'm not a fan of if else. I use if else almost never. So the fact that there is an option, maybe this will help. Actually, this is what we're gonna do, because I do not like my chat not being seen very well. So we're just gonna zip you over to another page, because I want that to be pretty. I only use, cause again, this is from doing Go so much, right? I only use if statements, and if there's an else, I almost always do a switch. So that match makes a lot of sense for that. Ordering is an enum with the 3. Okay, that makes sense. Ordering is an enum, so let's change that to say enum. Undo that. Enum. The compare method is based upon the value of the variable. Okay, yeah, right, and the variable's secret name. And yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. Okay, now I'm gonna figure out what Eric said. The one thing that might give you syntax paper cuts until you understand is that Rust is an expression-oriented language, which is why we can omit semicolons and things still compile with your current match statement. I thought we were omitting semicolons because of the curly braces. Oh. Most mainstream languages are statement-oriented. I didn't know statement-oriented languages were a thing. That's a new term for me. Okay. So the first new bit here is another use statement, which... Oh, look, guys. I forgot it. Oh, curly braces just have to do with the max. Cool. Yeah, now it makes sense where the ordering came from. I had no clue where ordering came from until just now. I want to thank TFZ. Oh, I just realized that it was TFZ and not T for use. TFZ for using emotes. I wish you were using emotes of my dogs, but you know, hey. No range allowed. Well, I need to save you. Now it's written, and it should be good. And that's awesome. And thanks, guys, for literally giving me so much. Oh, look, you are using emotes too, like the robot face. Bobby used a smiley face. You're doing awesome with the robots, Eric. I love robots. I forget that those are emotes. Okay. I do. I just think that those are normal letters. The robots. Can we add emotes to our normal alphabet? Because that would be awesome. Okay. Ordering is another enum. Oh, like result. Ordering is another enum. That makes sense. Enums are a little bit different in Rust than what I'm used to dealing with enums, which is protobufs and Postgres. And that's fine. But other variants for ordering are less than, greater than, or equal. These three outcomes are possible when you compare these two values. And it's not that they're different. I'm sure they're like literally exactly the same because it's an enumeration. It's just the method, the way that they're used is smart. They are? Pinal Servo says they are different. Okay, well, I trust you. Because I'm literally just learning all about this. Pro tip, in Windows, you can use window plus .period to get an emoji entry menu. In Mac, control command space. If I'm not wrong, in C++, they're called tagged union. Oh my goodness. Patatas, you know way too much about C++. I just Google command control space. Oh my goodness! How did I not know about this until just now? They literally... How did I not know about this until just now? I'm supposed to know everything about Mac. Okay, you know more about C++ than I do because you keep talking about it. I don't talk about C++. I only talk about... Well... I do talk about stuff I don't know about, but like C++ doesn't even enter my head as like a thing. Match is an expression made up of arms. Oh, arms are a thing? C++ has an enum keyword. Tagged unions are a good low-level C++ term. Oh gosh, now we're talking about low-level C++, which is even scarier. An arm consists of a pattern. Okay, well, pattern is an italicized, which means it's a special term in Rust. And the code that should be the run if the value given to the beginning of the match expressions fits the arms pattern. Rust takes the value given to match and looks at each of the arms pattern in turn. Match constructs pattern. Powerful features in Rust that lets you express a variety of situations in your code might encounter and make sure you handle them all. These features will be covered in detail in Chapter 6 and 18, respectively. I visit the Rust forums a lot where I learn those terms. I worked with pressures C++ setting and can validate what's being said here. I don't know any specifics for that, though. Well, I guess if you want to, like, be official in Rust terminology, forums are kind of where it's at. Right? If you get a whole bunch of people together that use the same tech, they'll use the same jargon and you'll get used to it. Twitch isn't quite that forum, but oh well. Even though I still swear that 90% of the people that do live coding on Twitch are doing Rust. I don't know why. I'm surprised more people aren't doing JavaScript. Let's walk through an example of what would happen with the match expression used here. Say that a user has guessed 50 and the random generated secret number at the time is 38. Who's texting me? Nope, I just am supposed to breathe. When the code compares 50 to 38, the CMP method will return ordering greater. Okay, something literally just clicked right there. Okay. Whoa. I just had an epiphany. No, I don't want to become famous. Quit spamming me. no. I don't deal well with people who spam me. I don't deal well with that. No. Yeah, I hate bots. They find myself every once in a while. And then there was one person who just insisted on swearing at me in Spanish, and then I was like, nope, you're banned too. C++ enum gives a name to a sequence of numeric constants, but Rust enum variants don't have a simple numeric representation. They can have different structures. Yeah, that's why they're different. Your Zoom teacher arrived. I'm sorry, have fun learning. It's just useless unless you use crates. Well, thanks, Zocker. I guess that makes sense. I'm used to the numeric assignments of enums, because that's how I've used it. But I guess being able to do something else, use something else, in that context, makes sense. 100%. That's 100% makes sense. Okay, the match expression gets order and greater value, starts checking the arms pattern. It looks for the first arms pattern less. It sees that the value is greater does not match less, so it ignores the code and moves to the next arm, but the pattern greater does not match, does match greater. The associated code will execute print too big at this point. Okay. What? It won't compile? Is it because it's a string? Match is a counterpart to enum. It lets you handle all different variants. Yeah! With the enums. So you're saying that you can only match... You're not matching on enums. You're matching on variables, but they return some kind... Not return. I don't know if return is the word for what it's doing, because the result is also an enum, and it's not... It is returned, but you have to handle it through your error handling. It says this is not supposed to compile. So, it doesn't! It expected a string found an integer, and it expected a string because guess was a string? Right? And secret number generates an integer, so which means one of two things. One, I need to typecast, or two, I need the input I take to be an integer instead of a string. Well, match works for more than enums, but enums are one of the main uses for match. Okay. The light bulb has not clicked for that yet, but I'm sure the more Rust I do, the sooner it will click. Right? Like, that's the whole point. We just want things to start clicking. And the more Rust you do, the more to click. Can I also say that I got Stroop waffles from Costco, and they're my favorite snack. Back to... there's a way to do that. It is Command-Shift over. Right? Ordering enum says that there are 3 cases, and if you match on the variable type ordering, then it makes you account for all 3 possible enums. Yeah, that's what this was trying to say. Up here. I think. The core of the error states that they're mismatched types. Yeah, I knew that. Rust was able to infer that guess should be a string and didn't make us write the type. No, Rust was able to infer that guess should be a string, and we did write the type. What do you mean it didn't make us... Oh, sorry. I get it now. It inferred that it was a string because we put the word string on the other side of the equal, as opposed to putting string over here where we would define a type. Gotcha. A secret number, on the other hand, is a number type. Well, an integer, that's what the error said. A few number types can value between 1 to 100. I32, which would be a 32-bit number. U32, which is an unsigned. I64, as well as others. Yeah, a lot. Rust defaults to an I32, which is a type of secret number. Unless you add type information elsewhere, it would cause Rust to infer different numerical type. The reason for the error is that Rust cannot compare a string to a number type. Oh yeah, I knew that. Okay, wait, whoa. Why don't we just define that to be a uint13? Why do all of this business uint13 and int32? Why do all of this business to convert a string to it? Because we're clearly saying, hey, this is a string. Oh, the string's a struct? What? That's insane. That's not intuitive at all. I guess that's why there's an entire online free book about it, because it's not intuitive at all. Okay. So we're gonna, wait. Why are we putting this as a U32 instead of an I32? Oh well. There's no such thing as constructors in Rust. The convention is to use new as a constructor where it makes sense. This part, this new, yeah. Yeah, but if it's looking for... Well, it said it was looking for an integer. I guess looking for an integer... This needs to be after the read, right? It might need to be after this. Come on. That's not what I wanted. No, this is before the guess. Okay, I literally copied that. Don't be dumb. I don't want to type all that from memory. There we go. Oh, we can do this. No, I want... There we go. So now, well, that doesn't care what the type is when you pass it there, but now we've definitely assigned that to a variable that is not a string type. This is the line, right? Yeah, we already go. Whoa! Also, you have two different variables that get the same name, binding name, overtime guess. The second is let guess, and the docs basically says, give me another spot to put a U32, let's call it guess, and forget about the old definition of guess. This is called variable shadowing in other languages. By the way, the parse method is actually one place where it makes sense to use the turbofish syntax. The turbofish syntax for generics? Look, Eric, you did it again. You used another emote. Nightbot's congratulating you. So you're saying instead of assigning a type to guess, we would do some kind of turbofish stuff? Ugh. Generics! I don't have generics in Go. Oh! You're showing me the example of what the turbofish syntax for that would be. That's crazy. That's way smaller. That's like way fewer lines. Oh, look, Eric, it says, but wait, doesn't the program already have a variable named guess? It does, but Rust allows you to shadow, see? Shadow the previous value of guess with a new one. Not like Python, where they just wipe away all the important stuff. This feature is often used in situations where we want to convert a value from one type to another type. Shadowing lets us reuse the guess variable name rather than forcing us to create two new unique variables, such as guess underscore str, str or string, and guess. Oh my goodness! To call parse could easily cause an error. For example, if the string contained an emote, there would be no way to convert that to a number. Parse method on string parses a string into some kind of number. So parse is related to the number, which is why we provided the argument, the U32, and the expect is how we're handling the error, right? Let's say let guess equals 32 that instead of let guess equals n in order to avoid needing turbofish. Yeah. Which is the whole... yeah, okay. Yeah, we're on the same page. We treat this result, right? We have a result type, which is another enum, and that comes from the parse. And then we have to put the except on it because that's how we handle our errors, because we're either going to get an error or a result of okay, which is the number. Nice. Even though spaces were added before the guess, the program still figured out the user guessed 67. What? What you talking about, Nightbot? I don't have a jacuzzi. Oh, awesome. Time to make sure it compiles. The secret number is 51. I'm gonna put 52 because my guess is too big. That works. And this is when you do unit tests. Too small. Just right. Would it make sense to even unit test match because like match is super standard? Who knows? But it's still there. Am I right? Okay, back to the book. Come on, book. Hurry up and be done with this chapter. Ah! Oh, we're so close. We're so close. So close. I hate reading. Okay, allowing multiple guesses with loop. The loop keyword creates an infinite loop. We'll add that now to give users more chance to guess the number. Loop instead of for. You know, on my Go tutorial book, I talked all about the for loops and all of those great syntaxes. And this is awesome. But we have to exit it. It won't work unless we exit it. What do you mean quit? I'm not going to run it because I know it's infinite. As you can see, we've moved everything inside a loop from the guess input prompt outward to be sure the Be sure to indent the lines inside the loop another 4 spaces because Rust doesn't use tabs. And run the program again. Notice there's a new problem because the program is doing exactly what we told it, asking for another guess forever. And it won't let you quit. Told you I wouldn't run it. The user could always interpret the program by using a interrupt, not interpret. Yeah, Control C. But there's another way to escape the insatiable monster. Insatiable's a big word. They chose a really big word for this. As mentioned in the parse discussion in comparing and guessing the secret number, if the user enters a non-number answer, the program will crash. Like quit. What if we just wanted to quit when they enter quit? Quitting after you guess correct. Just add a break. Oh my goodness, let's do that. Do all languages use the break syntax? Because I feel like they do. I haven't run into any languages that don't use the break syntax. We have loop. No, it doesn't have a lot of letters, but who uses... Big is not defined by the number of letters, but how often you use it in common speech patterns. I don't use insatiable in normal everyday speech. All languages that loop will likely benefit from a break statement. Yeah, and I feel like that is literally the syntax that they use for everything. I haven't ran into a language that doesn't have that. Oh, look, they added more curly braces and a semicolon. It was like this, right? Semicolon and then break. Semicolon and then that. I believe that was it. Awesome, thanks. I'm glad I'm doing it right. Cool. And then handling invalid inputs. Well, I'll just do this. I'm just gonna... My goodness. I just want to make sure it will build. Isn't that what cargo check does? It builds it without building it? I read something. Cool. I'm way too new to keep adding stuff without making sure it compiles. Because compilation is very important. Okay. So somewhere right here, loop until we get the right answer. Yeah. But sometimes I feel confident enough in my typing ability that I can write an entire function or an entire set of functionality and then run the compiler instead of doing it after I add individual lines. But yes, I agree. I make this mistake a lot of committing or pushing it up to GitHub without checking if it compiles and then getting a build error. I mean, I have the checks in my CI/CD, but I should at least... Yes! I've done that before, too. I have definitely copy and pasted things I thought would work, and then ran the compiler, found out it didn't work, and then you have to do Control F replace all, Command F replace all, right? Because you have to Replace all of your bad code. All the time. To further refine the game's behavior, rather than crashing the program when the user inputs a non-number, let's make the game ignore a non-number so the user can continue guessing. Ignore a non-number? Okay. So right here, what's happening is we've removed the except, which kind of auto-handles the error. And we've said, if okay, right, because okay checks the result, we're going to return a number, right, which is the result we're checking. If not okay, we're going to ignore the error and continue. That's how I read that. I'm getting better at reading Rust. Right? Could you imagine if after all of this I still couldn't read the code? They have a semicolon after the curly brace because it's still one line. One really long line. And then these two go inside. Why doesn't it copy? Okay, well, I'm gonna type it because I'm a professional. Okay. I bet. Okay. Num is what we take. Add a match before the guess trim parse. Did I miss that? Oh my goodness! I see now. I didn't notice that we were doing the match. Which, if I was paying attention to the comments you guys were giving me earlier. Oh my goodness. The match, in a way, is what lets us access the enum that's returned, right? Something like that. If we didn't have the match, we wouldn't be able to access that beautiful enumeration. Okay, it's capitalized, error is capitalized. I really want to say that this equals arrow is like a pipe, but it's explicitly telling us the action to take, which is not a pipe. Pipe is for grep. Well, it's for more than grep. I just only ever use it when I'm grepping. And yeah, that makes sense. Use match to access result enum and specify okay case and error case. Don't see, and now if you use the case terminology, then that match is behaving exactly like a switch statement in Go. Because Go is my context. It's just part of the syntax associated pattern on the left with the expression on the right. Yep. So much syntax. That's why they have an entire book, right? They have an entire book of syntax because you can access the enum value without the match, but it's the most common way if you want to perform some action based on the value of the enum, since that's its purpose. Yes. Cannot continue outside of a loop. Was I supposed to add that to the loop? Was I supposed to add that as a secondary thing inside? No. What? Oh, look. look, I put the loop in the wrong place. That's why. I skipped the infinite loop part. Well, I mean, I skipped them explaining what an infinite loop was. I added it. I just added it in the wrong place. We're supposed to add it before like, right? Like, I guess, oh my goodness, just go over. What we didn't do yet is, like, the secret number is fine. Even though printing the secret number's dumb. But now I'm putting things in the right place so that they would behave a certain way, right? So now, essentially, I would put this here. And so it would define a secret number, and it would say, input your guess. This should happen in here. And it would just loop through every time until it breaks on you win. Something like that. Loop, input your guess, string new. They do define that inside, even though it's mutable. Interesting. Well, I don't want to actually play the game. So I do want to know what the secret number is. So now this should build. Cardo run. I like that it only has to do one step. Okay, so if I put 12, it's too small. 49, it's too big. 48, it's just right. Okay! And then we'll do it again, and we'll say, please input your guess, and I'll say, no! I know, I'm so excited. Okay, 23. It works! I just did Rust! Ah! Yay. We did Rust, guys! Or everybody else that's not a guy? Guy in the generic non-gender bias set relation? At this point, you've successfully built a guessing game. Congratulations. This project was way hands-on to introduce yourself to many new Rux concepts, let match methods, associated functions, which are macros, external crates, and more. In the next few chapters, you'll learn about these concepts in more detail. 3 covers concepts most programming languages have. Yeah, but why would I read them? Ownership. 5 discusses structs. I don't want to read it. That's awesome. I'm so excited. We'll go get status, get, oh my goodness. I thought we decided we weren't gonna handle targets. This is a nature of the fact that my get ignore does not do it right. Vim.getIgnore. We want it to be, you're fine. Guessing game. Example. And then target. Target. Right, and that should now do that. Cool. Wait. That didn't ignore all of them. Well, then let's just do this. Hey, Casiris! Did you eventually call and yell at your ISP? No. What I did was I had to eliminate all of the possible things that were my fault. So I did two things. First thing was I removed the dongle that was connected to my dock that processed input from my camera. No, not my camera. From the mic, the mouse, and the keyboard. Because those were what crashed every time I was on a video call. And I have that dongle now plugging directly into my Mac instead of through the dock. And now my dock no longer overheats and crashes. And now that my dock is no longer overheating and crashing, I don't lose internet connection. Thing number two I did was I cut my frame rate from 60 to 30, and that killed the buffering. So now I'm no longer buffering on Twitch, and my dock's not freezing, which manages for now. I ordered a new dock, so I don't have to have the second dongle, so I will replace the dock, plug the dongle in, so I only have to have one connection to my MacBook. And then, if that's figured out, I'm going to mess with the frame rate, bump it up to 60, and get on the phone with my ISP. I just felt like I needed to do my due diligence before yelling at them. And I have. I have done all of the due diligence imaginable. Well, yeah. It's too hard. Another new doc, did you read the darn reviews of it's the same doc! I got the same doc again. Because the doc's reviews are amazing. It is a Corsair TBT 100. You read the reviews. Everybody says this is the best doc ever. So I don't know why it sucked for me. I'm getting it again. I read the reviews on all of them. The reviews just lie, because people are liars. Ugh. Okay. Now let's do get status, get ad. Yes, just mine is utter trash. I am assuming that, because Corsair is, a remarkable brand, and that reviews are so high that it is just mine. And when it happens again, I will go leave the bad review that taints everybody else, because I've done my due diligence, and then call my ISP, because they're on the hook for the rest of it. Because I should be able to do 60 frames per second over the internet speeds I am getting. And then cargo build again. This is mostly just to make sure that my thing works, that my get ignore is working right. Because this will produce a binary that I don't want to commit. Oh, it didn't, because it works correctly. Yeah, I'll definitely call him. I just needed to. I always feel bad. You feel bad yelling at people when it's not their fault. Even though it's frustrating to the user. So I just needed to make sure that my anger, or not anger, but targeted criticism / demands for better throughput was well deserved. Awesome. Check out main. Oh, I have to create main. my gosh, I'm struggling. All I want to do is check out main, merge all 12 of my branches, and then push this to GitHub so that people can know I actually wrote Rust. And then I was going to fork the other thing and start doing the Rust exercises. Or maybe, I don't know. You got your internet for free after getting mad about them, or just because you get free internet? I guess you're saying if I call them, because I called them to complain, not angrily, just complain about the service, I should get it for free. Because I wouldn't be upset about that. And then they can give me my cable for free too, that I only pay for to get my internet for cheaper. Oh gosh. Virgin Twitch branch. Oh, that's because you're not a thing. This is a thing. Merge in Twitch cargo test branch. And now, will you let me get merged May 13th? What? Oh, did I check main out of that? Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So now I need to go on the GitHubs. Hey, look, it's GitHub. New repo. I'm sure there's a way to do this with the CLI that I just don't know. I got free internet because I told them a few home truths. That when they tried to say I didn't know what I was talking about, I straight up nuked them for more. I don't know. Nah, I only helped build yeah, I only yeah, oh, if you built it for him, you should be getting it free for life, don't you think? Don't you think? I mean, come on. This would be Rust book examples. And then, nope. Yep. I'm just saying, if you built it, you should already have, like, some kind of rights to it. Oh, well, discounts are nice, though, right? It's like if you work at Tesla and you get their cars with monthly payments and interest free and then 20% off on top of that. Because that's a thing. I have a Kaggle key. Guys, I don't even know when the last time I was on Kaggle was. What are you doing? Visual. I just want to... Tesla or SpaceX? Well, yeah. I mean, my brother-in-law works for Tesla. Now he's got how much in stocks? Because, like, they're worth a ton of money. When they went public after trying to go private. So, I mean, he is in finance, so he doesn't get to work on any cool tech, but he does get the benefits of the stocks. Cool. Let's go fork a repo. Yeah, but the thing is, as soon as they said they were going to go private, they had like 4 audits done, and they said you can't go private without the SEC shutting you down, so they didn't. They just tried. Yes! Time to go learn about all the rest. Even though I probably should stop. I have way too many projects going on to just like drop everything and learn Rust. Exercises! Probably just start with the readme. Elon is socially awkward and I love it, showing the world that you can be weird and be one of the richest people on earth. He was on SNL last week, which I wouldn't watch SNL if I was from Scotland because they are not nice to Europeans. But he was the first host on SNL to be on the autism spectrum, which, 1, is awesome. 2, personal opinion, that was the best show of the season. Like, they have had people on there who, like, can knock it out of the comedy park, and nobody could hold their toes to Elon Musk. His show was amazing. Like, hands down, amazing SNL show. Like, I would love. It was just awesome. Just how he handled everything, and he just, you know, had fun with it. It was awesome getting started. They don't have anything that I don't already know. Then you can run. We don't have PowerShells. Install Rustling, same as we already. Bash, git clone, we already done it. I already did that. Doing the exercises. Wait, what? Is that saying that I can, like... This is already part of the, like, ecosystem? Yes, I do have a... Yes, that's literally So, yeah, here's the thing though. I'm speaking on a panel of Go versus Rust for the Go Lab and Rust Lab conferences that are based out of Italy. And I like my Italian friends. They're very nice to me. And they told me that they would possibly let me go to their conference in Florence, Italy. So I want to stay on their good side, so I'm gonna do my due diligence and learn about Rust so that I can say that Go is better than Rust. Which is not what's gonna happen on the panel, but so I can say Go is better than Rust. And the end. So it's saying if I do Rustlings, it should start something. Okay, I should actually go read this thing. Getting started. If you're on Mac OS, make sure to have, on Windows, just run this. Running Rustlings will give you installed access to the Rustlings command. What? So you're saying I didn't even need to, fork it? I could have just done the exercises? I thought this was, write your own code exercises. Oh my goodness. So where are my AirPods? I have an empty case without AirPods in them. Okay, this is ridiculous. So you're saying I can do this. And it will install. Okay. Now, this is a language that knows what it's doing. If it literally has exercises built in. Well, I guess they're not built in. That or Rust is just super desperate for new users. That could be the case. Rust could just be super desperate for new users, so they're we're gonna build a CLI tool. And not gonna work. I should have cargo in my path. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to run my cargo stuff, right? Constructive Voices podcast and magazine liked my LinkedIn post. That's random. Hey, thanks for all your help, Pinal Servo. You're going to do this and they're going on the panel. Never I might. There are some good use cases to use Rust at my job. I might touch Rust again. Maybe. I might never touch Rust again. Who knows? Maybe I just get more viewers when I do Rust, so I therefore have to. Always, and if I'm just out here to get more viewers, then I would do it. I'm not. I'm here to mostly have fun and talk to people, because talking to people makes me feel better. Well, 100%, I'm definitely going to move on to something else. I don't know how. There's one skill I definitely inherited from my dad, and that is halfway doing projects. Like, if I am not getting paid to do it, like, I'm really good at, like, getting bored halfway and leaving. Like, yeah. My mother says, "Can you pick up pizza and I will Venmo you?" Sure. Pizza for the third time this week. Let's just go to home and see if we can run rustings. Oh, I should do this. Well, Docker's done. Like, seriously, I have this friend who I'm supposed to be building a Discord-based... Well, I'm trying to hook Discord up to Twitch chat for meetups. See? Interesting. Let's go try and we'll run that bash thing again. And yeah, I told him he like is working on the front end and making it pretty, and I haven't touched that thing in like probably 3 months. Cause I'm like, I can do other things. I'll go learn Rust. Who cares about working with other people? I have 2 wrestlings things? What? They didn't say it had to be in. Half-finished projects are the best. That's what makes people think you're a good developer. Because you're like, oh, they have 97 repos on their GitHub? They must know what they're doing. And it's like, nah. And it's like, you wish I knew what I was doing. But I don't. Well, I mean, I do know what I'm doing. When I'm doing Go. But, like, do you really want... I keep getting... You know what you're doing, and you have to know your own... Yeah, I do! No. The comment is in reference to... I keep getting these recruitment messages for lead data engineer at startups, and I'm like, guys, you don't want me as your lead data engineer at a startup. You really don't. I'm not going to give you the time of day that you need to get a startup going. Like, yeah, I know about data engineering. Yeah, I do database stuff. No, I don't want to be in charge of your data organization. I'm sorry. Like, that's not what I'm doing to this today. Yeah, I'm not gonna be taking care of your stuff. Okay, why is this one behaving better? I'm gonna do this again. Because... yeah. If you want to be in charge of data, you need to be integral. Yes! Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't want to be in charge of that. You know what happens when production databases get wiped out? Yeah. All hell breaks loose and everybody loses their jobs. Like, no. Speaking from experience, you do. I'm sorry. That's not what I want to be doing with my life. Like, yeah, I'll just hang out on Twitch and chat with my friends. Now what am I supposed to do? Now I'm in the magical repo. This was making it seem like it was all fancy, because if it's not fancy, I'm going back to plan A. Run it on repel.it. What is this? I feel like they're gonna charge me for this, so I'm not paying your money. Where'd you go? Oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. It's a crab. Ferris the crab. Not as cool as Anonymous the gopher. Manually doing the exercises. The exercises sorted by topic. To run exercises, it is in the recommended order. Execute Rustling's Watch. Okay, so how's it going? I couldn't even lurk. You like had to completely leave the stream and then come back? I hope class was good. I got a call a couple of years ago. It took me 12 hours to do 3 weeks worth of work. I had to rebuild the entire stack and restore the offsite back. Well, at least you had backups. And I'm sorry. Yeah, databases suck. I really try hard not to be in charge of other people's databases. Oh my goodness! Okay, I did something and I broke it. Aborting due to just type hint. Declaration of lines watching need Rust create new variable bindings. Okay. So I think okay. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking. I think I have to actually edit the Rust files. But I don't like where this is. So move rustlings to code Rust yeah. Kit checkout branch exercise 1. And now I VIM the exercises. What? It says there was an order. It said if you were gonna do it in order to just run Rustling's Watch. They're trying really hard to get people to learn Rust, and they're still not making it very intuitive for me. I thought I was in... It just said... Rustling's Watch will give you the order. Well, that's what I put. Do I have to, like... Exercises are short and topic can be found in the subdirectory. Wrestling exercise topic. For every topic, there's an additional README file with some resources to get you started on the topic. We recommend you look at before you start. The task is simple. Most exercises contain an error that keeps them from compiling. It's up to you to fix it. Some exercises are also run as tests, but wrestling handles them all the same. To run an exercise, we in the recommended order, execute, watch. Oh! I get it now. They're saying it like, that does it all. And then I could also run it by exercise. Oh my god. That's how I feel like. I feel like providing this Rustling's learning tool. I mean, it's provided by Rustling. I just forked it. And then you have Rust by example. You have the cargo book. You have the Rust book. You have... like, Rust, the language, Rustling, the organization, I don't know if it's a team or... I thought it was sponsored by Mozilla at some point. They provided so much stuff for learning it. It's like they really are trying to get these people... doing something interesting. It's really... There's so many books! And somebody told me... Is Eric on here anymore? To buy it. I'm like, I'm not gonna buy you a book. That's why I have an iPad. I only buy interesting books. I have so many books behind me. I don't know if you can see them. Like, I do have a lot of books. I'm definitely a book person, but I like to sit down and read coding books. I don't like to sit down and work through coding books. Testing yourself. Uninstall Rustlings. Cargo. Uninstall Rustlings. It got installed via cargo. I do buy books to read. I buy books about databases. I have the book. Exercises to chapter book mapping, so they tell you where in the Rust book you can find information about these, so we should probably start with variables. But since they're in alphabetical order, that don't help nobody. I like reading books every once in a while. Let me rephrase that. I like referencing books. I like to it's easier for me to look up something in a book than it is to look up something in a large PDF. But it's easiest for me to look up something on Stack Overflow. So there's that. I don't know. And I like narrative books sometimes. I don't know. But literally, I feel like you have to read the Rust book to know what the heck is going on in this language. It's crazy. I don't understand. And maybe it's just because I haven't subscribed to all of the community of Rust yet. I'm sure if I subscribe to the conferences and I subscribe to the forums and I subscribe to the Slacks and I subscribe to like the Discords and I subscribe to all of the Rust community. The Coder's Bible. There's a Coder's Bible? What is that? Oh, Stack Overflow? Yeah. I have a friend who used to work at Stack Overflow. And so now what he does, if he doesn't know something and he can't find it on Stack Overflow, he intentionally creates the question on Stack Overflow to reference himself. So basically, he's like, and if he finds the answer to it, he'll go back through Stack Overflow and answer his own question, so that when he has the question again in 5 years, he can go back to Stack Overflow and find it. And I don't know if he does that because he worked at Stack Overflow or because he likes Stack Overflow. Make me compile. I will search questions on Stack Overflow, and I will never ask anything on Stack Overflow. I have asked things, and they never get answered. Because I was asking about, like, an Apache thing. I don't know. There's some things that you don't find on Stack Overflow. But all of my Postgres questions get answered on Stack Overflow really well. They get answered. I have not had a SQL question that could not get answered by Stack Overflow. Dinner. What time will you be at? What time will you be at dinner? Anyone else hungry? Because I'm thinking about food. Oh my goodness. X equals... I have asked things, but I don't know. But if I don't know and I can't find something, I take some strong coffee or booze and pay a visit to the... Yeah, that's the... What do you do when Stack Overflow doesn't have the answer? That's the question. So this isn't compiling? That's the issue? Okay. Well, I don't know why it's not compiling. Rustlings, hint, that's cargo. The declaration on line 22 is missing a keyword. Oh, the let thing? I should have known that. So this would then be rustlings, run, is that what they said to do? Rustlings run variable. You must have Rustlings watch on another terminal at the site. What? Rustlings watch has to be running the whole time? Oh, that's so hard. I don't know what I just did with that, but that was cool. Also, now I got it to work. Well, it works now. So if I do whoa, that's probably why. There was no S on it. I see now. Does my Docker... I don't think I have Docker even running right now, because the Docker daemon exploded on startup. If you want to advance delete the... I mean, I could. If you're ready for the next exercise, remove the I am done comment below. Hint. Oh, that's in the thing. Okay. Let's see if this works. Yeah, it's Nightbot. I experimented with it today. I have never Used it. But apparently I have like 5 moderators on my Twitch stream. I deleted them all. But they can all still post things. It's very interesting. Well, I have the Streamlabs moderator, the Stream Elements moderator, and... well, I did. I removed all of them. I have... there's one that's built into... Streamlabs itself, that's called Better TTV. That is weird. Stream Elements, Nightbot. There's so many things. See, this is what it does every time I run the thing. So, it's interesting. Automod was on Twitch itself. I turned that off. Cause, it was blocking really weird things. Like you, and not the people that were swearing at me in Spanish. So, at least you've never insulted me directly, so there's no need to moderate you. Like, but when people start attacking me, then yeah, but I'll just ban them. Yeah. A good thing about having the bots going is they artificially inflate the statistics that Twitch reports back to you. So, there's that. Thank you. Thank you for never insulting me. That's really nice. I generally try to be a nice person. That's what I'm saying, though. I don't have a need to have moderation on for people when people just behave, you know? You just behave, and it's, like, not a big deal. You quit behaving, and then it becomes a deal, and I have to start restricting your ability to speak freely. Make me compile. If x equals let x, I feel like that's not how you declare a thing. I feel like we have to either give it a way to infer a type, or define it, right? So we have to say let x equals... oh, I don't have a problem with you joking with me. I have never once felt insulted by anyone, even though a random person did come and start swearing at me in Spanish. I just banned that person. Like, as a weird random person. Like, you know, it's fine. I enjoy your company, Casiris. You make my Twitch streams lively. Very lively, even though I am definitely, like, winding down, almost done. Even though these exercises are kind of fun. And pretty easy to, like, run through. Output not 10. Oh, see, I got the second one to work. Apparently the I am not done. Yeah, it was like on a, just, yeah. And then they were saying words in Spanish, and I'm like, because I speak Spanish, but I don't know all of the regional dialects of ways you can swear at someone. And then they're like, if you don't know what it means, go look it up. And I'm like, I'm not looking up your junk, I'm just banning you. I'm not an idiot. And so I just banned them. And it was fine. And it was just like, thanks. And random and weird. Really weird. It was really weird. Like, yeah. But it's been like, of all the people I've interacted with on Twitch, there was only that one person that was like, what the heck? Okay. Yeah. Like, whatever. If you really have to do you that much, go do you somewhere else, because I don't want to deal with that. Yeah, I am glad you come hang out, even though we're doing Rust, which is not as fun as Go. But, you know, somebody's got to do it. It might as well be me. Don't change this line? Oh, I have to change it to mutable. I bet that will do it. Okay. These Rustlings exercises are genius. There is definitely just if you know how to code. Like the time that I was ready to throw my computer at the wall because Jetstream wouldn't work. Because Nats was being a pain. Yeah. I want to do some stuff with gRPC Gateway. That's the next thing I want to experiment with. They added compatibility for that stuff at work. And, like, I've seen it. I have coworkers that use it, and it's, like, awesome. Well, I didn't get that far. And so I want to mess with gRPC Gateway, because I love gRPC. I think gRPC is awesome. I've done more gRPC than I've done, like, REST endpoints in my career. And so gRPC Gateway just makes a whole ton of sense. For my chat Discord bot server connector magic tool for meetups. Yeah, well, my coworker gave a talk on it a while back at one of my meetups, and it was like our most watched talk in 24 hours. The video had over 200 views. So obviously it's a hot topic, and basically it's just taking gRPC and turning it into REST endpoints, and then you can use Swagger and you can do all kinds of ways to test it, and it's super awesome. At least what he was doing was super awesome. And like, that's not a thing. Yeah, no. And it has the right amount of keywords in it that if I put it on Twitter right, you know, I could draw a crowd. And since we're only in this for the numbers, because every time you end a Twitch stream, they send you an email and tell you how important and amazing your numbers are. Not that numbers mean anything. It's just funny. It's just really hilarious to me how often they just send you things about numbers. Wait. 3 had I am done. 4. Well, I mean, we never said x equals anything. But I wonder what that colon does. Do I still have my Rust by example up? Rust by examples. No. Primitives. Types. Variable bindings. You would think that the variables section is the one that has to do with the variables code. Declare first. Let binding. Let x equals 2. A binding equals x by x. Scope versus shadowing. Oh, we talked about one of these days I will need to watch a meetup or talk or something because it got to the point I was getting involved in so many webinars. I can see that. Like, the detox is like full on cold turkey no more. I feel like that's when I quit running meetups, I'll be at a point where I'm just like, I will just go into isolation and not talk to anybody. I 100% see that. 100%. Cool. I'm gonna do one more exercise. See if I can figure out this business. No, this has gotta be a variable thing. And then I'm gonna call it a day. We'll probably wrap up with the Rust tomorrow. That seems like a good... I've also seen people do the same thing with conferences, right? Like, they'll go and they'll speak and they'll be super active in conferences and do all these things, and then all of a sudden, like, complete shutdown. Like, especially people who are, like, in developer relations or developer advocates. Yeah, there's a way to define the variable instead of let it infer it. That's what we're trying to do. And, like, they're just, like, traveling and doing all these things, and then all of a sudden... shut down, no more, like, disappear. I've, like, talked to a ton of people like, yeah, I'm taking some time for my mental health because I can't, I'm, like, going crazy, which, like, I get, right? Like, it's insane. Yes, the colon is right. I knew that. And so the thing that's not working there is they need to define it. We need x to equal 12. So yeah. It's going for to come to all over the world. Yeah, that would be insane. Because conferences are like a week at a time, and then if you're going to that many, like you're either doing it for work or you're expected to work while you're there. And it's like, what? Yeah, I get it. Yeah, and then when you stop, you're just like, I need a full-on break breather, and it's hard to get back. You know, you've ramped up so much. It's gotta be hard to get back into it. That didn't work. Unexpected token println. Did I forget a semicolon? I did forget a semicolon. All over the world too, and that travel wears you out. Travel's fun, but at the same time the worst. Like, but yeah, because it's more exhausting to travel than like anything else in the world. My personal opinion, like, and especially when it takes you all day to get there, like, traveling's the worst. We need teleporters. We need to teleport somewhere and skip the travel step and, you know, be done with it. Shane, how you doing? I added the thing to show that I'm live on Twitter, and I'm glad you saw it hanging out there. How's Google, Shane? The falling within weeks of each other is like 2 weeks at home and then 5 months traveling. That sounds horrible. I wouldn't want to do conferences like that, like at all. I wouldn't. Yeah, I couldn't do conferences like that. I'm sorry. I don't blame you for going cold turkey. Shane, how's Google? I hear you're selling things now. SRE management didn't work out. Yeah, well, Greg, every once in a while, Greg will show up at a meetup and he'll tell us what you're doing, Shane. And would I like to buy some cloud? No. Weave has cloud stuff, and they gave me, I'm pretty sure I have like 2 or 3 projects in Weave's cloud that I'm an admin on, and the rest of Weave doesn't even do. So I can just like do whatever I want, and people have no clue what I'm doing, and my work pays for it. Isn't that great? Isn't that awesome? And how's Seattle, Shane? You loving Seattle up there? You jumped on, Shane, though, right as I'm about to sign off. You're not leaving? Hey, well, does that mean that... Because Sean was the rep for Utah for a while. What do you mean? Oh, I don't want that. I want it to go to mine. That means I need to, change the origin, which is no fun. Does that mean if I want... You can, sponsor my conference and come down to Utah and hang out with us Utah people at Go West because you're now a sales rep and that's your job? Sorry, sales engineer. Because, I'll just hit you up. We'll be better. You don't even have to... What's your budget? What's your budget on spending money? I'll DM you. I'll DM you and we'll figure out a way for Google to pay for you to come visit us. How's that sound? Does that sound great? Okay. Okay, one of the things fun I can do. Yes! Let's get Kelsey Hightower to come to the Go West conference with you. Sales engineers are Google's invention. And they're real. And some of them know what they're talking about. I've seen sales engineers do demos. Where they had no clue about the tech they were even talking about. It was quite hilarious, just seeing them try and even know how to write code. And then I've seen sales engineers who were amazing and knew exactly what they were doing, and were like Shane, and you have no clue why on earth they left to sell things besides the bonus. So I built a platform building blocks in Go. Now I try and help people put those blocks together to do cool stuff. Well, yeah, because you're selling. Now you just do demos, right? It's like sales, developer, advocacy stuff. It's not developer advocacy. It's like weird. I don't know. But I'm sure that I'm sure it could be a blast at Google, living that Google life in Seattle, where all you do is sell things, and then you recruit all your friends to come work with you, which is what you do best. Anyway, I'm gonna how to SRE. You want to come do a how to SRE training at Weave? We try. As in, they try and make me do it. I have no clue what's going on. Okay. I will definitely DM you, but I have to run. I do have family coming in town, and I apparently... yeah, I'll DM you, Shane. We'll chat offline. Thanks, Casiris, for hanging out with me. Thanks, everybody who left, for teaching me all about Rust. And I'll be online tomorrow. If anyone wants to come hang out with me tomorrow, we'll do some more. Tomorrow's the last day of Rust, and then I go back to Go, I promise. Go forever. Okay, bye, guys.